Tell me, tell me about the booty. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I am your guy. I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today I'm going to talk to you about another film. Steven Soderbergh's The Limey, starring Terrence Stamp, Leslie Ann Warren, Louis Guzman, and Peter Fonda. Released back in the 90s. I don't remember what year. I think it was 99 or 98. The story centers about a ex-criminal from Brenton who arrives in LA to find the answers of his daughter's mysterious death. And this film is probably one of the most underrated movies in the 90s. It's a kind of a classic, somewhat neo-noir crime thriller a bit. And what's really great about this film, I'm not much of a Terrence Stamp fan, but so far what I've seen, I really liked him in this film, is that the film has somewhat of a non-linear storytelling approach a bit, where the movie begins at the beginning and then you'll have flashbacks that kind of jump. I wouldn't necessarily say flashbacks, but they're like scenes that could have happened after the whole event, and you have Terrence Stamp's character kind of reflecting what's happened in the film, and there's like other scenes where it could have been maybe a flash forward of him on a plane, and he's reflecting back of his understanding of his daughter, and he hasn't seen his daughter for years, and it sounds like from in the film that he and the daughter in the film didn't get along. They had a very dysfunctional relationship, and while he's in his journey to avenge his daughter, he's also trying to understand his daughter and understanding the reasons of being the way she is. She's described as being a person who's always done the right thing, who's always done um, the always does the good thing, whether it's what, no matter the sacrifices, believing good over evil. Because there's moments in the film where he's shows as a flashback. And I think also as a trivia, the film uses old footage from Terrence Stamp's earlier movies back in the 70s. I don't remember what that movie was called, but they use that they use footage of that film and insert it into this film, kind of use it as a flashback sequence for him being put away from prison for a long time, kind of like what they did with Glass, but they used a deleted scene old from an older part of the film of Unbreakable, and they used it in deleted scene of Glass. So that was kind of that was kind of different for a filmmaker to use old footage from a film with the same actor, and they used it again for another film. They got to show the time of the age difference, which was amazing how they did it, but it was kind of very, I would say, it was very cool. I actually liked it that they did that, and I'm kind of curious if Steven Soderbergh bought the rights to that film or just somehow got permission to use footage. I mean, you have to use footage from another film of Terrence Stamp's from an older film to use in the film that when it came out, um, whatever year it came out, I think in '99. So that was cool. And then there's even moments that I think this is actually shot where they actually show a little girl, the daughter, on the phone, threatening to call the police if her dad didn't do the right thing, and he bills her as this I guess of a that he respects his daughter for doing what she believed in, even though she basically turned him in, and trying to understand her as a person, given that I guess he hasn't seen her in decades. What's also really great about this is the way that Steven Soderbergh, I believe he kind of gives short little montages of certain characters where you kind of you kind of give a moment. You're actually kind of given a moment to understand who these characters are, and they're kind of built like montages. Peter Fonda's character, who's the antagonist in the film, there's a montage of him just kind of being built as this. I think he's like this Hollywood producer, but at the sideline he does criminal activities, and his partner in crime. Well, I want to say his partner in crime. His, I guess, associate helps cover up the agenda, any wrongdoing that he's done. And then there's like a little tribute of him billing him as this kind of figure. And then there's another henchman that um, his associate hires. They give him a little bit of a moment of some of a tribute, or just a moment to kind of see who he is and what he represents. They kind of lay it out what his intentions are, and that guy actually is pretty good. I don't know who that actor is. Is it Barry Newman? Is that the actor? I don't know. I don't know that actor is, but he has dreadlocks in the film. He was great. He stole the scenes in each part that he was in. Each scene that he was in, this dude um, was awesome. He was great. The action was also pretty great too. I liked how they kept it realistic, where it was mostly like a shoot 'em up and run. Really, when the action scenes happen, they kind of build up. So there's one action scene, there's not much happening, you don't really see, and then the second action scene, it builds up, you actually see it, and it builds up more and more and more, and it gets creative with the editing. I actually really enjoyed it. Really, this is a great revenge thriller that doesn't really get talked about a lot. I know this is like a film that was released like 2 decades ago, over 2 decades ago. But this is one of most Steven Soderbergh's underrated movies. In fact, he's really an underrated filmmaker. I don't think a lot of his films, or most of his films, is given a lot of credit. So, if anyone is looking for a good noir thriller that's kind of quick and clean, this one right here, The Limey, is one you must check out. Comment below. Let me know if you have seen it. Have if you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, let me know in the comment section below.